Hello everyone and welcome to my channel. Today we're going to be going over this piece that I actually made last fall and I guess talking about Halloween. So let's get started. So it's Halloween season? Question mark? I don't really know because the stores that I go to on a regular basis, which are pretty much craft stores and Costco, have had their Halloween decorations and candy and just a whole Halloween section for like a couple weeks now. And last I checked, it was July. It's the end of July and I don't think I've ever seen Halloween decorations out this early. I'm not mad about it because I absolutely love Halloween, but I feel like it definitely snuck up just way too quick. Like I'm still trying to monitor my garden, which isn't coming along very well, and hoping that I will have an actual harvest this fall, and fall is already kind of like staring me in the face. But it did make me remember this piece that I made last fall, and I actually never did a video on it. And I think that it's been several months since I looked at this piece, and it's kind of funny when you go a really long time without looking at pieces that you've made in the past, and then you go back to them and you think, oh wow, like there are a lot of problems with this. There are a lot of issues that I would love to address. So I think that I'm going to do a redraw of this. I think overall I like the concept. I love the idea of the piece and the reason that it came into being. But I do think I'm going to do a redraw, and I actually think I'm going to adopt this character as an OC of mine. Because, like I said, overall I like the direction that I went. I like the idea. I just think that it could be executed better. So the origin of this idea was, it was Halloween, around Halloween, it was October something when I drew this for the first time. And I was listening to Ashnikko's Halloweenie IV. I think it's Halloweenie IV. I put the actual title up here in the video. I believe it's Halloweenie IV. And I just love that song. Like, especially last year, I believe it was one of my top 5 songs of the year on Spotify. And I was just listening to the crap out of it. And it gave me an idea or an inspiration to create this character that's kind of loosely based on Ashnikko, as well as kind of loosely based on the lyrics or feeling of the song. And that's always, for me, that's like the sweet spot of inspiration. It doesn't necessarily have to be like based on a person or a song or music or anything like that, but when you have a few different elements kind of like coming together or merging together in your brain, and it like births this new thing, this new character or landscape or whatever it is that you paint, that's, for me, that's like the best, the epitome of creating art. I love when that kind of thing happens. So going back to kind of the beginning of the video, I started out with what I call a wireframe sketch, where I kind of decide where all of the individual pieces of the body are going to be, like the shoulders and the head and the hand and things like that. And then I went on top with a loose sketch to kind of build out the forms and the volumes of, not necessarily the details yet, but to kind of show you this is hair and this is the outfit she's wearing and she's holding a mallet. And then of course I go over it one more time with an ink brush in Procreate to kind of finalize those details. And that's what you're seeing here. And I know for a fact that the sketch brush that I used was just the 6B pencil, which is a Procreate standard. And then the inking brush that I used is the Magic Kohl brush, which is an Inktober brush from a brush pack I bought, I believe last year or maybe the year before. And I will link that in the description box below. I know that I have talked about this brush set a lot because that Magic Kohl brush in particular is like in my toolbox all the time. It's one of my favorites. So, and then once I have the inking lines done, then I can go ahead and start laying down color. I did create texture with a paper texture laid on top, set to multiply. And then I wanted to kind of stay within like a monochromatic color scheme for the most part. So it's a lot of cool colors. It's blues and purples and even like cool toned pinks. And this one was relatively easy to kind of, I guess, bang out because I had the idea so clearly in my head. And it was one of those very rare moments when I had an idea in my head and then I actually was able to translate it onto the screen. Again, I know that I believe, at least when I look at it now, that there are some issues with it that I would love to address in a redraw. But the overall idea, the pose, the colors, all of that were in my head and came out on screen almost exactly the way I saw them, which was like, it's a miracle. It happens like once every 5 years, I swear. Anytime I think almost any artist sees something in their head, it almost never comes out exactly the same way on paper or screen or whatever it is that you're creating on. So this one I got really lucky with. Towards the end, you're gonna see a little bit of a graphic style, more of like a magazine or manga style background. I don't typically do backgrounds, I'm terrible about backgrounds, but this one I wanted to add a little bit more texture and like interest to the background. I felt like it kind of went a lot more with her vibe, I guess, as a character. So I did just a pink background. I stole the pink, I believe, from the tongue, and then I created like what looks like tape holding the background on, and then like some of those split tone dots to kind of give it a little bit of a visual interest, but I don't want it to be too detailed or different from the character because I don't want it to draw attention away from the character. I want it to just be kind of a passing thing that's noticed. So again, I did create a tiny bit of a background, but it is a little bit of a half-assed background because I want most of my attention as an artist creating this, as well as most of the attention of like the viewer, to be on the character herself. So I'm going to go ahead and just let you enjoy the rest of the video now. If you have any comments or questions, please feel free to leave them below. And stay tuned because I think I am going to do a redraw of this, but I might end up doing just a short. I'll just post it as a short rather than having a video of the same the same character or basically the same content twice. I might do it as a short. So stay tuned for that. And I will talk to you in the next video. Thank you.